go.
Yep.
All right, everyone's got their beer. We're going to take this one serious.
Serious? We never take it serious.
As long as we take it.
Ben's good at taking it.
How's the Diet Coors?
Oh, good.
This brown water.
I'm a Bud Light guy, but you like Coors,
I'm a fan of Diet Coors, Diet Bud.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I don't know about being diet though.
Johnny Walker Black on the rocks.
Oh, there you go. That's more like it.
Scotch on the rocks, double the Scotch, hold the rocks.
Yep.
All right, so let's kick this off. And let's welcome everyone to a special People vs. Paranormal podcast. We are on location tonight.
Oh, why, thank you.
Yeah. We are at the Demon House, as we call it.
I wish I was the location that you were.
Hello, location. How are you? So, why don't we introduce our special guest, or introduce yourself?
Well, hello. I'm Brian. I own the Demon House.
Perfect.
I'm the jerk that you see in the video.
Yep. So, for those of you that are like, what the fuck is the Demon House? Watch season 1. We're there once. Season 2 coming up. There's an episode.
Well, you had online the client meeting.
Yeah, the walkthrough too, which was crazy. That's what made us want to come here.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing.
So, I want to talk to you about your history with the house and how you go about living with this on a daily basis and stuff. So,
Oh, it's spectacular.
yeah, it seems spectacular. I mean, we've been here for about an hour and stuff's going on already, and it's 5 o'clock. Still kind of light out. So
I think they kind of missed us.
yeah.
Yep. When I was downstairs, right when you guys were pulling in, I was, getting ready to load the stove and didn't really feel too much down there. And then, I let you guys let yourself in. We were shooting the shit. I go back downstairs to, throw a log in the stove, and I get to the bottom of the stairs, and it just stopped me cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how this house is.
It just got real thick down there, and it was definitely different. And you came down, and
it's totally different. Like you almost you're confronted by a wave of energy. It's different feeling. Your breathing is different downstairs. It's definitely something going on. But they missed us. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So even like sitting here for like a half hour, 45 minutes, it was kind of like just zoning out. Like I was like, what the hell's going on?
yeah, you really didn't say too much. Well,
No. Like my heart was racing. Like I was maybe a half a beer in, and I felt like I was drunk. I was like, what the hell?
Hearing footsteps, like.
Yep.
And once again, the same thing that happened to me last time. The ears are ringing, they're popping.
Yep, I'm getting that
Elevation changes. It feels like, I'm driving up a mountain.
too. Yep.
Well, afterwards you'll have to walk up the stairs and see if it does the same thing that it did last time.
I would love to.
Yeah. So,
I'm not just trying to lure you to the bedroom.
Stop it.
that's how he gets all his victims. I mean, dates.
Yeah, we wonder what it's haunted from.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
I'll have a roofie colonic.
So,
I said colonic.
why don't you tell us about how you came in possession of this house and like your story?
Well, the house was kind of interesting. How I came about. I was renting apartments, sick of renting apartments. I needed a place to store my tools and everything. Rent was going up through the roof, so I figured, fuck it, I'm going to start looking for a house. I looked around here and there, and I stopped by my father's house. We were shooting a shit. He goes, oh, well, I got to stop by and see a buddy of mine that does body work. I just don't want to use any names right now anyway. Yeah. And that particular person, I didn't see him in like 4 or 5 years, and we were pretty close. And I said, shit, I have no idea where he lived after he moved out of Ocam, and so he goes, well, they got to take a ride down, join me, So we come down here, and he said that him and the town did not have a good relationship. Basically finding him left and right for body work that he wasn't supposed to be doing. The whole garage was built without a permit.
Yeah.
And later on it was paid for.
And when you say garage, it's not like the average house, like the one-car garage. Yeah. This is like a, 4-bay?
Yeah, 4-bay. Well, 3 in the front, one on the side.
It's huge.
It's a man's garage.
But, he went to the town saying that he wanted to put up a shed, and the building inspector at the time, who was a great guy, goes, a shed, don't waste my time, just build it. I don't care. So we built it, 35 by 50.
It's a hell of a shed.
Yeah.
So then, the town was obviously pissed off, so we then applied for the permit and paid it. And did you just hear that?
I heard that whispering, right?
Yep.
That was cool.
That's probably him right now trying to tell the story too. But so we were down here, and he said, I got to get out of here. I got a garage down the road. I got to start moving into that, and I got to find somebody to buy this place. So I looked through it, and I said, geez, I could use a garage like this, for all the automotive work I do. And he goes, well, I'm kind of looking for $195,000 for it. And figured at the time, being 2006, that wasn't a bad price. Had it appraised. The whole thing, purchase and sales, 1 week I was moved in.
Wow.
And,
not bad.
So I was here, and the first night I spent here, did you hear that too?
Yeah.
Like a kid's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The first night I spent here, laying in bed, and I'm hearing footsteps up and down the house. Like, what the fuck is this? Turn on the lights. I walk through the whole house, grab the shotgun. Who's here? And nobody's here. Go back to bed, didn't hear anything. It could have been a couple days late. A couple days went by, whatever. I was still kind of moving boxes around. Probably took a couple of years really to get settled in here, but there was always something going on. There was always a footstep. There was always a voice. A few years go by, and I wake up probably around 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock at night. I go to bed early because I'm an old fuck. And, being 38, 28 at the time. I wake up to hearing whispering, and I'm hearing my voice, Brian, and huh? I kind of roll over and look, and I see this figure floating between the hallway door and the porch door on my bedroom. I just sit right back up, and it's pacing back and forth, floating back and forth. I'm blown away. Could have been a minute, could have been 20 seconds. It was incredible to watch. I throw on the lights, it disappears. I shut the lights back off. It's still gone. I wake up my wife at the time, and I'm like, I got to tell you what I just saw. And all she said was, which is pretty fucked up, well, you saw that figure floating back and forth. Don't worry about it. I see it all the time.
Wow.
Because that's so normal.
Yeah.
Great.
That really makes you think.
In this house, it is.
Yeah.
Needless
She's your
to say,
ex-wife, right?
Yeah, first ex. But almost from that point forward, nightly, I would hear voices. I would hear footsteps to the point where I'd hear like old carousel music. Hear all sorts of odd shit. I had quite a few times where I'd be sitting in the living room writing out bills, get up to take a piss or grab a beer or whatever, and go back in, checkbook's gone. I'm the only one here. I mean, at that point, I'd say, at that point I was probably divorced, living here by myself, and, where the fuck's my checkbook? Look the whole room, like, how the hell with it? I don't have time for this shit. Grab another book, write out the bills, go out, mail them, come back an hour later after running some errands, grocery shopping, package store, whatever, all the important things. Need beer and toilet paper.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Come back, both checkbooks are right on the coffee table.
Wow.
Same thing with tools. Tools would all of a sudden be in different drawers, and you guys see my garage. I keep, it's not
immaculate.
it's not the most organized right now, but it's pretty organized. I know where everything is, and it was like whatever I put down, it's over on the toolbox.
So basically, it's not just segregated to the house.
No, but
It's the property.
At this point, after the house blessing, it's been in the house.
Yeah, just in the house.
Yep. Yep. It's getting a phone call. Fuck him. Sorry, Pat. But
So talk about physical things that have happened to you since you've been in the house.
I've gotten scratched a few times. You guys saw the most
recent.
severe one that
was
happened
horrible,
about
yeah.
3-4 months ago. I mean, I've never been scratched like that before. I
That was
believe.
an attack, definitely.
Those are welts. Like, they were scratched so deep. And you said the next day they were gone, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
It was-
abrasions don't go away that quickly.
Yeah.
so
No,
it's
it's-
kind of weird.
I think I saw that photo.
Yeah.
It looks like someone, took a wooden dowel and, caned you with it.
I think I'm trying to remember the day that happened. I think that happened on a Sunday or something while I was here. I was not here long. I had to grab some tools out of the garage. Maybe I had to do an oil change on something. Doesn't matter. I was not in the house all that long. I think I may have gotten the wood stove going, and I had to head out. And I got to my girlfriend's house, and I'm like, I got to go lay down. I just don't feel all that great. And she comes upstairs and she goes, "You feel all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, just really, really tired out of it. But my back is really bothering me." She lifts up my shirt, and I just had gouges across my back, across my shoulders. I mean, these weren't, like if you were to, say you were scratching yourself or whatever, not your balls, but your back, you get red marks on them, but they generally don't welt up.
Right.
And even if you have allergies or whatever, they just don't welt up like that.
And they
These-
raised up, the skin raised completely
maybe
up.
we'll
on it.
put the picture on Facebook.
I saw that picture. It
so
was-
people can see how severe. We'll blur out faces. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's face.
I don't
have
have that. You might be able to make out a quarter of my face, or
Yeah,
whatever. But it was bad. Other times there was more stuff that I swear was just done to scare me. I had one time coming down the stairs from the second floor to the first floor, and as soon as I got to the first floor, it sounded like somebody with heavy boots was running right down behind me. It scared me to the point, I jumped into the kitchen and turned around, ready to beat the shit out of somebody. Thinking that somebody's in the house. It's scary. It really is. It can be very unnerving. I mean, I'm definitely desensitized to it. Do my best not to acknowledge it, especially after having the house blessing.
Yeah, which is the best thing to do. Ignore it.
I mean, it's, if anything, you yell back, "It's my house, get the fuck out," But there were times, I mean, it was like direct communication a couple of years ago. I mean, I could get the first paranormal group that was here. I wish I still had some of the footage. But the first EVP that was ever taken in this house by a paranormal group, they asked me to ask a question. And so I asked, "Do you know who I am?" And it came back, "Brian." I said, "How many spirits are here?" "Go fuck yourself."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did we have something sweared?
We had all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had one that said, "There is no fucking Jesus," or something like
all
that came
sorts
out.
of stuff. Yeah.
It was, God was mentioned a lot. What was in there, but of course, as dealing with demonic stuff, you're dealing with the mark of the Trinity.
Yep.
And I had an experience.
You all right?
Yeah.
The hell is that?
That's odd.
That's his phone.
Someone's vibrating too.
That's yours.
No, not
I
me.
felt like something just got me on my shoulder.
Mine's not going off.
Is that you vibrating?
Oh,
Nope.
it's probably me.
No.
It's next to the Yingling.
Did the guy you bought the house from have experiences? Because the house, I think, you said the flooring came from somewhere. Or
Yeah,
has history?
all the hardwood flooring was the Doherty High School gym. Now, I never spoke to that individual about issues I was having in the house. I never brought him up. At that point, I mean, who do you talk to? That's not going to think that you're absolutely nuts,
Yeah.
And it wasn't up until maybe a little over a year ago, his kid called me up. He was working for a good buddy of mine that he came here and had some experiences, and he was talking to the kid about it. And kid calls me up and goes, "Yeah, I had some pretty nasty experiences there growing up, and my father used to swear to God the place was haunted."
Huh.
Now, this house was condemned for about 20 years. Nobody lived here. I don't know the name of the family that owned it. I could probably look it up. Doesn't really matter. But nobody lived here. Basically, the boiler ran out of oil. The house froze. The pipes burst. It flooded the place out. My friend ended up buying this place for a song and a dance, lived in a trailer out back, gutted the whole place and rebuilt it, changed the floor plan, changed the whole layout. The structure's the same. It's still post and beam, but it's studded out so we could change the layout of the rooms. And I'm sure something like that, that physical change in the house
Yeah.
Well,
probably
we also,
stirred up something.
We had Lauren research the school where the
Yep.
floors came from, and they had a documented death there as well. It was a Korean gentleman. He was in his 50s, I want to say.
Oh, the last name was like Nguyen or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But we couldn't find out where in the school or what the cause of death was. Was it an accident? Was it a heart attack? So
Yeah.
was his energy
Health-related or
attached
whatever.
to the wood that's in the house? Because you have hardwood everywhere except for the kitchen. It
The
seems.
kitchen used to be hardwood too. The guy and I ripped it out, and and then he did the tile job instead.
Yeah, and this house was built in 1900. You said.
Yeah, 1901 and
1901.
1900 or something.
Well, talking about the experiences going down the stairs, I had the same experience upstairs in the kids' room.
Yeah, the first time you guys were doing the investigation here, because you were called upstairs.
Yeah, multiple times my name
Yep.
was called out in that room.
Tim.
And it was crazy because we had a camera set up in there, and Lauren and I were talking, and there was a drain on her camera or something like that. She's like, I got to go downstairs to get another battery. I was upstairs, and this is one of the most crazy experiences I ever had because I was faced up against the wall where the heating duct is, where the windows
the
are.
baseboard, yep.
And I was sitting there, and I heard something across the hall. And I heard like something like run like boom, 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 boom across the hall. And it almost was like something sucked the light out of darkness. It's kind of hard to say that, but
Yep.
it
That
pulls
happens all the time in this house.
pulls the
Yep.
Only
fraction
places
out
I've
of
seen
it.
this really were like,
And what it
Especially in
did-
the basement.
yeah,
Like it'll
the
get
dark
darker.
gets
Yeah.
darker.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
what it did, it disoriented me to the point. Now all I had to do was walk straight. It was in whatever that was in the room.
You
with
know what
me.
it reminds me of, kind of? It's gonna sound cheesy, kind of cliche, but
Ooh.
the Insidious movies, when they go into that realm where it's just
Oh, yeah,
blackness,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like that. You're surrounded by total darkness, and you can see yourself.
Yeah.
If there's someone with you, you can see them, but you can't make out the floor, the ceiling, the walls.
I was so confused that all I had to do was walk straight down and go down the hallway and downstairs. I like stood up, disoriented, almost didn't know where I was. I had to hold my hands.
And
on
you
the
gotta put
wall
the
and
mic in
go
your mouth,
all
too.
the way-
Yes.
Sorry, I had to go the hands all the way across the wall and then find the door, the entrance, and then go down the hallway. And I could hear footsteps following me down the stairs.
Yep. That's
that was
probably the
crazy.
portal opening.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
I want to touch real briefly because we're not the first group that's been in your house. You
No.
had another group from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We can plug them. We'll give them a shout out. Remember the name of the group?
I don't remember.
All right, then they don't
been
get
a
a shout
while.
out.
Do you remember the
Yeah.
guy's name? I forgot what it was.
John, I don't remember his last name.
All right, so John from Rhode Island and his group have been here, and they've traveled the country
Yep.
doing investigations.
And-
And what did they tell you about this place?
They said it was the most haunted place they have ever been. They've been to Gettysburg. They've been everywhere.
Yeah.
And they said whatever was here. I mean, I had John sent me pictures of the same face that I've caught in this house in his bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
The horn figure.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
seen that photo.
Yep.
And it's funny because I think we talked about this on previous podcasts, but you sent us an email originally, I think it was, and you had a little write-up about the stuff that happens, and I called you up, and we talked for about an hour.
Yep.
And part of me was like, this guy is full of shit, because that is literally like every horror movie ever.
Compiled into one.
And so we came here for like a meetup one day, just because like we want to make sure.
Yep. I remember the phone call. It's like, look,
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's either pulling our chain or lives in like Amityville.
Yeah.
And then we came here at like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. It was sunny,
Yep.
and we were in that basement, and the light went away.
Yeah.
We heard the laugh, like the demonic laugh. I'm like,
Yep.
we need to investigate. And
Oh, it named
I'll never forget
everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Everybody in the
Everybody.
goddamn room. It
And
named everybody.
the big thing is, you had told us that a medium had told you there's multiple spirits, both
Yep.
good and bad, as well as
Your phone just went on.
yeah, it
automatically.
does that lately.
Okay.
As well as a demon. And as a paranormal investigator, we don't tend to believe that demons are a common occurrence. Up until here, we've dealt with one.
Yeah.
And so for you to say there's a demon here, we're like, no, there's probably something else. And after that first formal investigation we had, like, we went home and we're like, God damn, there's a demon in that house. Like,
Yeah.
and then we came back the second time, and
All hell
it
broke loose.
stepped up its game because we stepped up ours knowing what it was.
Yep.
And the end result, which we'll get into more into detail later, is we had to have the diocese come to your house to do a blessing. Like,
Yep.
I'm looking at above your door, there's chalk.
Yep. You got the date that's split in half. It's 2017, and then the initials of the three wise men in between.
Yep. So the
20 plus C
the
plus
deacon
M
of
plus B
the
plus 17.
the Worcester diocese came here to bless your house, and it did not take. So he's coming back.
Yep.
But we'll get into that more later. So
I mean, everything changed after he did that, and the house was eerily quiet for a while. It was, all I can say is it's a game of chess.
it really is.
That was his move. It was powerful, but whatever's here now, just it acts differently. It acts
Because it knows that we know how to combat it.
Yep.
Wasn't it also different, like multiple times after we've left from being here?
Yep. Yeah, it was like after every cleanse with the sage and everything. It wasn't. It was different. It wasn't the same kind of different as
Yeah.
it was with the
It was,
priest.
it was
but
more or less irritated.
Oh yeah, yep. But I mean, I would come here, the next day, a couple days later, working on something, and it felt like all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
It incredibly eerily quiet. It kept its distance, whatever it is, and it was watching, and fucking strange, absolutely strange.
Well, definitely some of the weirdest paranormal occurrences I've seen here. Like you told me, you had a video of an orb, and everyone on the team knows I'm the orb Nazi.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
orb I see is not an orb. It's dust. It's a bug. It's a fucking cotton ball flying through the air.
Yep.
That's nothing.
Then you show me your video, and I'm like, "What the fuck? That's an orb!" Like,
Oh, you could see it at the time it happened. You didn't need a camera to see it. You could
it was
see it.
It was gelatinous.
about the size of a baseball.
It was
blue,
crazy.
pure light just
Yep.
flies around the room for about 30 seconds.
Yep.
It has its own it's not like quick goes by. Like it literally hovers, it moves. It's like
And it came right at me.
It's like,
and then it moved away.
batteries not included. Remember that movie
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
80s? It's like one of those little things was flying around, but it was on fire with
Well,
blue.
like the funny part, typically we see the stuff on camera, we don't see it in person.
Yeah.
Like orb wise, whether it's a bug, it's dust, it's an orb, or whatever. This thing was like
So
physically
here
in
we
person.
had the disembodied voices not only with recorders, but we could hear them with our own ears.
Yep.
We had balls of energy flying around,
The calling out of our names.
names being called out.
Yep.
And then the last time that got kind of more aggressive, I guess is the best term.
Well, everybody
Yeah.
got sick.
Where we got
Yeah.
sick. Like I blacked out. I don't remember going outside. I
Oh,
just
you
remember
haven't?
waking up outside puking. And then I watched the videos. Like a zombie. Like I just leave the room.
Yeah,
And then I come back in. I'm like, yo, I was just outside puking. And then you got almost pushed off the
the balcony.
Balcony on
But
setup.
that was setup. That was during the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just doing B-roll, I was having trouble breathing.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's a couple times on video too. You're in the garage and you were like one of the most personable, like in your face people. And like a couple times you just kind of
Zoned out.
shut off.
Yep.
And then like we talked to you and you kind of like snap back into it. And I've never seen you do that. Like
Yep.
we've hung out a few times. It's not just we investigate and that's it. Like
Yeah.
I've been up here a few times. We've had beers, whatever. But like it's affecting everyone. It's
Yeah.
like getting physical. Like you said, it's a game of chess and it's
Yep.
taken out to pieces one by one.
Well, just after I left here, I was sick for a week. I was.
You were in the
literally-
hospital for a
I was in
while.
the hospital. I went to the hospital. They did a bunch of tests on me to find out what was wrong. I didn't have, they thought maybe I had some sort of, reaction to something, or the stomach flu or the bug, or they couldn't find anything. I
And
lost
they-
10 pounds that
They ended
week.
up giving you that procedure, the addictomy.
Addictomy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
no footage of it.
yeah.
Of course, no. I talk
I-
like this. Thank you very much.
Footage of it? No, it's more like an inchage of it.
Stop it.
Fresh.
It was just a crazy compilation of experiences here that was something we've never gone through.
Even our mediums that we don't bring them on every case, only the special ones, and that was Brandon's first investigation with us, right?
no.
Or was it his second?
I think it was a second.
His
The
first
Pruitt
home-
building
yeah.
was the first.
Poor kid.
But he ran
Threw
home
him to the
base
wolves.
because we don't need two cameramen here.
Yeah, yeah.
And they ended up to you and him doing like some like Reiki type stuff. To
I had,
him and like gave out sage.
I got a severe headache, and that was something that I suffer from migraines once in a while, rarely, but I had a headache, and it was almost like a piercing headache.
The one where your eyes hurt, your hair hurts.
Yeah.
Even though you
Well,
don't have
Yeah,
hair,
he
but
doesn't have hair.
And-
He's like, if I had hair,
yeah. if I had
If I
hair,
had
it would
hair, it
hurt.
would be the hair that was standing on end.
my eyebrows are killing me.
And it wasn't the anal bleaching
No.
Definitely not.
or the grundle wax.
So yeah, she did some Reiki. She goes, Tim, come here. She goes, I need to do this to you, and I'm like, what's the matter? She's like, yeah, I'm just compelled to do this Reiki on you. You've been dealing with these headaches and stuff like that. And she sat there, and I felt better until I came back in the house.
Yep.
Because we set our home base up in the garage, and I was outside sitting in a chair. And but she pinpointed on a lot of things.
They realized there was a portal upstairs as well as one down in the basement.
They actually hit on. I had kept getting like these dreams or visions of a fire in the yard and people in cloaks like dancing around the fire and stuff like that. And I was like almost comparing to druids, and she said the same exact thing. Even before I finished, she's like, "Yeah, I felt like druids, like there was some sort of ritual done."
Yep. Yeah, she said to me that somebody burned something in the back that wasn't right.
Yeah, and and I kept having that strange, like almost like a vision. And she, to pinpoint on that was pretty cool because I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure, but
Well, not to mention the basement itself. The walls made out of like limestone quartz,
Limestone.
that, big conductors of paranormal stuff. But you said the floor was originally
It's dirt.
dirt,
Yeah.
and now it's
Yeah,
cemented over.
Yep.
So-
Hand poured. Yep.
Who
Yeah, we
knows
had an
what was there?
experience in one spot in that basement too.
One
like-
spot,
Yeah,
the
right in front of the wood stove.
millimeter, the K2s, everything goes crazy. That's where all the EVPs. That's where that laughter came from.
Yeah.
Like the middle of us,
I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
because like it gave
middle
me
of
the
the day.
goosebumps.
We're like, how is this possible?
Oh yeah, when our first phone call, you're like, "What time of day does it happen?" I said, "Doesn't
You're like
matter.
all the time.
Name it.
Doesn't matter."
If you watch the walkthrough videos on our YouTube channel,
2 in the
you can
afternoon.
hear the footsteps. Like
Yeah.
every minute, I'm like, "You sure there's no one else in the house?" And you're like, "No, go look." And I go upstairs, and there's no one there. You can hear footsteps. You can hear voices, like conversations.
And there's nobody outside.
No.
You know,
No.
Yeah,
it's
you live in
It's pretty quiet
This
actually.
town is-
like around here.
Yeah.
like kind of like Wales. It's got like probably 3 people that live in town,
Yeah.
and
It's
maybe
quiet.
like 4 cows or a goat. It's a small town out here, so
You know, the experience about, almost being pushed off the balcony. It was crazy because, like you had said before, that, sometimes it's like it messes with you, but so it says, I can do this, but it doesn't. That was the same thing I felt. It was like a push on my back, enough to where it didn't knock me off my balance to fall over, but to grab the railing. But it automatically knew that railing was rotted, and it fell. I almost fell over,
Yep.
and that was during the day.
yeah.
That
Yep.
was just set up.
Yeah, 4 in the afternoon or 5 or whatever the fuck time it was. Yeah.
And then to find out, to pinpoint about, the master bedroom, we were thinking that the child's room was the one that had the issues, the paranormal
because you got that video
activity.
with the floor warps and
Yep.
the orbs
Yeah.
come shooting out of it.
Yep. I've heard more in that room than I have
We
in
actually
mine,
last time me and Anthony were upstairs and we're heading downstairs and something like grabbed me or you, like brushed our arms, and we turned around and like I saw that head peeking out of there.
I could have. Who saw the feet in the bathroom?
Lauren did, and then I did,
Yes,
and
yes,
like
yes.
we didn't know that each other saw it. until
That
we
was the
talked
room you
afterwards.
left me alone in, I think.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Scary as shit.
What room was that? The bathroom?
No. The
Yeah.
Little kids' room?
Little kids'
Little
room.
kids'
Yeah.
room,
Yeah.
Yeah, that room's crazy. That's the room I had that experience with the
Yep, everything just
refraction.
And
got
that's
dark.
where we got the EVP of the voice going, God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's when the first crew was here. It was their second time. They brought the cameraman with them. They were filming in the basement, and at one point, I don't remember what time it was. It was nighttime. All the light got sucked out of the room. The wood stove's going. It's at 600, between 600 and 700 degrees. It was 90 degrees in the basement. They had documented. They had their digital thermometer out of nowhere. It dropped down to 45, 50 degrees. It got just black as night in there.
And didn't you guys hear the...
Oh, there was foot stomping that started from right around the wood stove, and it walked step after step. It took a minute to go around the whole room, and it let you know where it was. And it finished right where it started from. At that point, it was light again down there.
Yeah.
And the camera guy packed up and left. He was done. He quit that day. He was all done.
Didn't they actually? His group quit and take all the footage. Something like that.
Yeah, there was something like that. Something odd happened.
They were here quite a few times, too,
Yeah.
like a dozen times or so.
At least half a dozen.
Yeah.
At least half a dozen.
So it's crazy, too, because a lot of times you revisit places and you don't get the same stuff, if anything.
Yep.
And this is like...
It's been pretty consistent.
This is like the Disney World. Like, you're going to be entertained when you're here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen.
Well, it changes, too. Like you were saying, it's different all the time. The first time was a lot of audio. I don't think we saw anything really the first time, but
Nope.
Last
We did see
time-
the change of darkness, though. The
The
light.
dark-
There were a couple of orbs that would go towards the recorder.
yeah.
Well, you did get the face in the wall underneath the steps.
Yep.
In
Yeah,
the basement.
we got that.
Yep.
But the last time we were here, and this is
It was chaos.
kind of messing with my head a little bit because
Yeah.
it started off with the girls, the mediums were in the house, and then after they were done, Lauren and I went in, and you guys laughed because I jumped. It's actually pretty hilarious. I can't wait for that episode to come out. But I looked to the left of me, and maybe a little further away than Tim, so that's like an arm's length away. I saw it looked like the guy that plays Lurch in the new Addams Family movies, like a face like that long and drawn out, but about 6.5, 7 feet tall, standing next to me. And I kind of did one of those double takes, and I jumped back,
Jump
and
back, yeah.
he was gone. Cameras don't pick that up.
Nope.
Later on, there's a point where me and you are downstairs.
And I just came down the stairs, and I'm like, he's fucking in that corner right there. I can see him clear as day. He is over there. And you're like, and then at that point there was some like snake-like figure that went
like
across
energy.
the floor.
It just jumped out at both of us at the same time. We got the video. Me and you scream at the same
yeah.
time, so it's not like we could be like, "Oh, I saw this. Did you?" We're both like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
at the
I
same time.
just walked down the stairs.
Yep.
And like there is somebody over there.
And
He is right there.
We checked the tape, and it
Yeah.
doesn't show up on video.
That is a shitty part. Like your eyes see stuff the camera
Yeah, so-
cannot pick up.
But it's weird that we both saw the same exact thing
Yeah.
at the same time. So does that mean do the cameras not pick up what it is, or is it fucking with our heads?
That too,
You know,
because
they're playing mind games.
there are times that the cameras will pick up stuff that you can't see.
Yeah.
It's
just an odd.
This
Very
house
odd
is very
phenomenon.
strange. It's like
Yeah.
it's not the normal spirit or ghost or poltergeist we're dealing with here. It's something more malevolent. And then this is actually the first time we kind of went a little unorthodox with our procedures, and we played with a Ouija board.
Yeah,
Well, I shouldn't say
at the
played,
end of
that
the
makes it
night.
sound like it's a toy, because a Ouija board is not a toy.
No.
But
it's
we
sold as one though.
yeah, it's recommended for ages 8 and up.
Yeah.
But,
So,
but here's the thing, too, though, is even the medians picked up on someone probably did something and left the portal open here.
Yeah.
So in order to try to close that, you being understanding how it works and how you can do things with that, it had to be done that way.
Yeah.
There was no other way. There was no other option, because once you open that portal, you have to close it with the same device, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, the fun part with the Ouija board too is we were down there, and it was
piece kept hitting me.
yeah, we pulled Brandon inside. So it was Brandon, myself, and you, Brian. We were the three of us doing the Ouija board.
You and I really couldn't see it.
It was pitch black.
Because he had the light on. It was the infrared light on
Yeah,
the
they had
camera.
the cameras pointed on it.
Yeah, I was a camera guy.
So
that
we could
night.
not see what it was spelling out, and it kept saying "my house, my house, my house" over and over and over again.
Yeah, and we couldn't see the goddamn board.
And
Yeah.
then we asked who the tall gentleman that I saw was, and it spelled out the name Cy, S-Y-E, which I was like, that's not a real name. But then I
No,
remember
it is.
Cy Becker.
Yeah.
Let's take another look at the movies.
And there's
That's a Cybecker.
there's Cy from what the hell is what are the rednecks on TV?
Duck Dynasty.
Duck
Yes, Duck
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
so-
Yes, Uncle Cy. Yeah.
And then the demon came through and just kept saying it was his house. And the planchette kept going off the board and stabbing you in the leg, pushing you
Yep.
away.
And literally, I was the only one that could see what was actually happening through the camera.
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
could
It was
not-
pitch black in there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we actually showed it at one point, like what it was like in there.
Yeah, we have it. It'll be on the season 2 episode, which will be pretty fun. So,
What kind of flavor seasoning do you use on it?
Demon flavored.
yeah. Paprika.
Tarragon?
Oh. So yeah, like different every time we're here. And it's weird, like even as
And
we're doing
every
this podcast,
room is
we're
different.
kinda
That's the
hearing
thing.
things. Yeah,
Every room has its own feeling, different emotion. And did you just hear something?
I've been hearing stuff since we started.
And
Like,
it feels to me like ice cold. My shoulders are cold.
Yeah, I have my
everything's
back
cold.
to whatever's back there, and I'm like, every once in a while, I'm like, well,
well, that'll be fun to re-listen to this after we're done when we do the cleanup and hear how many voices are in the background going, "Get the fuck out!"
yeah, right.
Why
got-
are you guys here?
Jesus Christ, just leave.
4 mics going in 4 different directions,
Yeah.
so it'll pick something up.
No, I get something right now.
That's a piece of equipment activated. Oh, do you hear that?
Something
Oh, was
came
that
in.
you?
Maybe maybe I'll share.
I heard that
There,
go.
there
So-
was, there was
so was
almost
it-
like a bang downstairs, I heard.
Oh, no.
So did they have to pump the water out from the basement? Didn't you say it was completely flooded up to
Yeah.
the floor? I mean, it was so bad. That it
No,
was-
yeah, yep.
and that's strange in itself to have that completely flooded. I know, like, everybody likes to steal copper, but
Yep.
to have something like that happen,
Yeah,
it
pipes
kind of
burst and it
makes you
just,
wonder.
just kept on. No, nobody lived here. And the people that owned the house, or the family that owned it, they never came to check on it. So it just ran, the water just kept on pumping and pumping. They actually ended up cutting the water main out. There's 2 water mains that come in the house. And the one that burst comes in from this door in. You'll see the pipe just dead-ended in the basement.
Right.
And the curb stops off outside. I'm sure it's disconnected from the line. Who knows? Probably isn't. But now the water main comes in from the front of the house.
And the change in temperatures too. I mean, we experienced that downstairs. That stove was
Like 20-degree changes.
I mean,
600-700 degrees
that
that it
stove
still
was
runs
it
at.
was warm.
Last time we were here, we got it on video. It went up like 20 degrees or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, to experience that. I mean, there's no windows downstairs. It's not like it was super cold outside. I mean, but
Yeah,
to
it was
change that,
summer. Yeah,
it was nuts.
Yeah, July we were here, right?
yeah. It was,
Yeah, something like
July
that.
7th, I think it was, something
Yeah.
like that.
It was a 95-degree day.
Yeah.
So, what experiences have you had in the garage?
Those have kind of come to an end, thank God, but mostly tools moving. My father, who never believed in any of this shit, he had an experience leaving the garage one day. He's walking out of the garage, and the man door faces the house, and he's looking up on my porch balcony to the bedroom, and he sees a woman, skinny woman, real long hair, staring at him. And it was staring at him to the way he walked all the way to his car.
Wow.
Nice and awkward.
Yep.
Which is, we've gotten a woman's EVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, we can hear one that screams help now and then.
Yep.
There was 3 different voices.
And actually, we were just showing you, they were saying, I can't, then that,
The girl's singing.
this girl
Yes,
singing,
yeah.
he is coming.
yeah.
And it's plain as day too. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Sometimes when you get EVPs, you got to kind of play them a couple times. That was the first time you knew what it said, and that's a rarity because
Yeah,
sometimes
it was
you
weird
have
because
to.
like the first time we heard it, instinct was because it was so real. We're like, oh, it's just Lauren, and we're like, wait, Lauren
yeah.
wasn't in the house.
On the first time you guys were here, we caught a kid's voice that said something that was plain as day in the basement. It was, I don't remember what it was. We got 3 EVPs within like 10 minutes.
I don't remember the kids. I know the demonic one was saying you asked it to light up the K2.
He goes, I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
But there was a girl's voice or something.
Oh, it kept saying, help me.
Yeah.
We got help me a couple times with her.
Oh, I've gotten odd fingerprints down on the dust on the oil tank.
Yeah, there's like a little kid's handprint on there, too,
Yeah.
we noticed.
Yeah, I had no kids in the house. That's
Yeah.
kind of.
And the medium, she had said there were multiple spirits, good and bad.
Yep.
And then the demonic entity, so maybe they're children here. So let me ask you this. You've been living in this house for
12 years.
12 years now.
Yep.
Has it affected your lifestyle, your day-to-day life, like anything like that?
Oh, for lack of sleep and stuff like that. I mean, there are times when it will wake you up and you're so riled up you can't get back to sleep. The next thing you know, you're drinking 3 or 4 pots of coffee and spending the rest of the morning in the can. No, it's definitely affected my life. It's affected relationships. Say the woman I'm with now, I mean, nothing bothers her, and she's had mediums tell her that she is completely protected. I mean, nothing here has ever bothered her. I mean,
She was
believes
actually
in this
here
stuff.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she ran that Spartan race the second time, so she couldn't
Yeah.
be here. She was destroyed from the race. But yeah, it's done a number. I think whatever here was probable cause from my father getting real sick 2 years ago and being
Oh, really?
hospitalized.
Was that the stomach
The
thing?
stomach
Yeah.
issue. It almost killed him.
Yeah. Huh.
That was a stomach thing I had. That's why I ended
That's
up at the
what you got,
hospital
yeah.
after the investigation.
Yeah, they found his wrapped up around his esophagus.
Ugh.
Wonderful.
And like, how does that happen? Like, what's the natural explanation for
the
that?
surgeon that's been doing this for almost 50 years.
It's
you
one of
know?
those. This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Yeah, because to the point where it was, we're cutting you open because the tests don't show anything,
Yeah.
and you're gonna die.
Just goes to show, like, the things we don't see or understand.
I mean, it could be coincidence. Who knows? I mean, you can't prove
Yeah.
it, but it's just there's too much odd shit that happens here that anybody that comes here. I mean, I didn't mention. I mean, I got a buddy of mine, at work that he came out here to buy a lawn tractor that I was putting together for, another friend of mine got a tractor in pieces. We put it together. He needed a lawn tractor. And what the hell is that noise?
Yeah, I heard that.
You know what? That might be the heat on the second floor, ramping right up.
Okay.
Almost, yeah, I can hear it. That's the heat.
Yeah.
But, he came here and, hey, I'll use his name because I know plenty of Jeffs. But, Jeff, go downstairs, take a look at the water heater I got down there. He goes, yeah, sure. He goes downstairs. He came right outside 4 or 5 minutes later. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff. He goes, I don't know what's in your house, but I'm not welcome there.
Damn.
Wow.
You can tell it's a good place when skeptics get turned around instantly.
Thankfully, we're welcome here.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
wants to
even,
torment us.
When we did the walkthrough, it was me, Tim, and Lauren. Sam was working that day, and we did the first investigation. Sam was here, and for like a week straight, he kept having a dream about your house and the stuff happening, and like certain parts, like he had seen your house in his mind before he had actually seen the house,
Yep.
and he knew stuff was going to happen. That's when he
Oh, he
He did his,
he texted both of us and said, "You guys need to prepare yourself for something like that."
Yeah, he's like, there's something bad there. Like,
because he goes to, doesn't he have a religious place that he went to?
yeah, he goes
He
with
went
the
on a
monks.
retreat or something.
Yeah, he
A
goes once a
retreat,
year.
yeah.
He goes spends a week with the monks to like recenter himself.
You know, so and that was one of the things. It was like, you know, for him to not even be in the house, you know, it was for him. And that's the first thing he said when he came in. He's like, "Wow, I saw this."
Yeah.
You know, he said the stairway was a little
about the
different,
stairway, yeah.
but the stairs itself were right. The way it had a landing there, he said in the landing as he got up, we both it's a ringing.
Who
You got a
knows?
ringing in your ear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hearing that too. You know, he may have seen the original footing of the house, the original
Yeah.
layout.
Oh, so speaking of like, you know, Sam with the monks and stuff, are you a religious person?
Yeah, I'd say I mean I haven't really practiced,
Yeah.
but you know I was born raised Catholic, and outside a few things I really don't stand behind. I mean I am spiritual, and
Okay.
you know
I just like to try to connect dots, 'cause, like, you know, with dealing with a demon.
Yep.
I'm always wondering, do they affect the God-fearing people more than, like, say, like the atheists or like, you know, the pagans, whatever they are, you know?
Yep.
But there has been documented cases where people have been very close to God and very spiritual and have been attacked by a demon or possessed by a demon.
Might be even
that's what I'm
stronger.
saying, yeah.
you know?
and that's scary in itself.
Because
but-
fear is their weapon, and
Yep.
they're the
Wait.
opposition, you know?
You know, I hear the old statement. It says they don't want somebody who's already close to the Lord. They want somebody who's very able to be able to possess them.
Tim.
Yeah.
I need you to beer me.
Oh, beer you?
Beer me. I gotta pee. Yeah, I gotta pee too. Let's take a quick
Got
little break.
3 scratches right on my hand.
Look at that.
Holy shit!
Oh, wow.
Holy shit! Look at that.
Dude, it's,
Take a picture.
yeah, look at that.
Hands been above the table pretty much the entire
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Mr. Boo here, telling you about Pioneer Valley Paranormal. Head on over to our YouTube, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and check out everything we have to offer.
All right, we're back to recording. We just took a quick pee break. And,
All at once in the same room.
Yeah, it was weird. We played swords.
Yep.
Well, Tim played dagger.
Crossing the streams.
But yeah, as we were leaving, Brian noticed he had scratches on his hands.
Got 3 scratches on my left hand.
So
And
we checked his back. He's got scratches on his back, and checked me. I got him on my back and on my belly. So kind of crazy. And we're hearing stuff. So let's get back at it. Where'd we leave off? I forget.
we needed beer.
Yeah, beer.
All I remember is beer. So what was your most extreme experience here? Was it the scratches that you had? Those multiple scratches?
Yeah,
Did you even feel them when you were scratched at that time?
I really didn't feel much until I didn't feel all that great. I felt real tired and just wiped out when I went home, and I laid down, and she girlfriend came upstairs to see me and said, I just don't feel all that great. My back is burning. And it didn't really feel burning here, but it happened here.
Right,
And
right.
when I lifted up my shirt and you guys saw the picture, it was just
Oh, yeah.
like, holy shit.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it's
You
gross.
look like you got attacked by some clod,
Oh,
something
look, I
clod.
got whipped.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Kunta Kinta.
Kuta Kente.
Can you talk a little bit about the experiences of like losing time, like track of time here?
Oh, yeah. It's not much to say except come in, sit down, and next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours goes by. It's like, what the hell happened?
You can definitely notice it though. Like if you just sit here and relax, like
You had it.
yeah,
when we
you
were
just
sitting
started
there.
like zoning out, and it's just comfortable. Like it almost like it hugs you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You're almost like in a meditative state or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And unless you're actually paying attention, it's kind of like what the hell just happened
yep.
type of thing.
It's odd.
I think that's kind of like the whole thing with us getting sick too. We kind of zoned out. Like it kind of shuts off your physical, so it can affect your spiritual.
Yeah, it's like being like half asleep. You're awake, but you're not. You're like aware of what's happening, but you really aren't.
Yeah, you sit back, you could watch everything happen, and then it's like, wow, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Look at the time. It's
2018. Holy shit!
It's,
What happened in 99?
oddly enough, though, it's comfortable.
When did you guys get here? Why the hell am I wearing headphones?
What's this thing in front of me? Oh,
Why do I smell
it's beer.
Vaseline?
Not the first time.
It's like the time at the trucks. What? Huh? Don't judge me.
So I want to go back into the more recent stuff. So after
Okay.
our second time being here, we ended up getting in touch with the church, which you guys were privy to a lot of me going through that.
Yep.
It is the hardest thing in the world to
Well,
get.
Unfortunately,
It
yes.
really is, because nowadays, like,
The church doesn't even believe.
yeah,
Basically.
and I don't know if we talked about this on another podcast. I'll run through it real quick. Is we went to a church down the street here, the next town over. I think it's still part of the same town.
Yeah, Gilbertville.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
no one was there. I knocked. I rang the door. I called them, left a message. They called me like a month later, and it was one of the nuns. And I told her the story. And as soon as I said the word paranormal group, I could hear her eyes rolling in her head, like, oh.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'll convey the message. We'll get back to you. Never heard from them again.
Yep.
Yep.
So, Anthony, your cousin,
Yes, my
is
cousin.
actually the priest of St. Mary's in our town. So, called him up. He was actually really nice. He recommended that I talk to the diocese in Springfield, and if everything went well, he could probably even do the blessing himself. I called Diocese of Springfield. He said, no, they're considered Worcester County. You have to contact Worcester. Called them up. Same thing. One of the nuns answered, and she's like, all right, I'll convey a message. And he actually called me back.
Yep.
And
He's spectacular.
he is.
He's-
The first time I spoke to him, he's like, I got to make it quick. I got a meeting in a couple minutes. He talked to me for about a half hour. And then he's like, I want you to call me tomorrow. We'll talk for about an hour. I called him the next day. We talked like an hour and a half. Gave him your number, and that's when you guys got in touch.
Yep. And he came. When he came out, I know he brought salt, some blessed chalk. When he began the blessing, I was sick to my stomach. I was supposed to read along with the prayers out loud, and I was instantly sick outside the house. In the house, I was following around doing what he told, and it was very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel anything else. I was glad he was here. I just felt really sick, nauseous, and just weak, absolutely weak. I mean, I was sitting where you were sitting while he was going around.
So this
the
thing,
rooms.
I would guess, has a hold on you, like some kind of
It must,
attachment. So, but big thanks to the priest. We'll leave his name out of this just
Yep.
for.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
'cause
like he didn't want
he
anyone here
didn't
for
want
the blessing,
he didn't want anybody here outside of me.
which is how it should be. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
big thanks to the Worcester Diocese for helping Brian.
Yep.
It's not done. It's not over yet.
Nope.
He's got to come back.
We made plans to meet up. Maybe it was a month or so ago. Could have been a little longer. I don't remember. It was after Thanksgiving, and he was going to come out, and then I was detained at work, and I couldn't make it. Who knows? Things happen.
Yeah.
So
So he'll come back one day, hopefully finish the job. But they always say with the big hauntings with the demonic. Excuse me. Oh,
God bless you. Jesus.
Oh, that's this Coors Light. With the demons especially, it's not a one and done. It takes time. They operate differently than we do. Like we're different realms at war, pretty much. So, but
And they have time.
yeah,
Time is on their side.
Yep.
We don't have time.
I'm just glad we were able to find help.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because most people just come in here and try to get the crazy videos and go and oh, look what we got, and then leave you, and like you don't have any type of evidence or closure or whatever. And
Yep.
it was like that's the first thing we said to you. We're like, we're here to help you. And if we don't have the answers, we're going to try to get the answers. And Ben was
Yeah, like-
on the phone constantly.
Oh,
trying to
you
get
guys
we're in
have been
touch, like,
absolutely
every week,
spectacular.
like-
Yeah. Yep.
Even if it's showing videos of you with your new gun, shooting shit, or
I mean, that's what we do. The big thing is that we always try to follow through, and make sure you get the proper help.
yeah,
if
we don't
can't do it.
we don't make clients, we make friends.
Right.
That's what it is.
I'll drink to that. Absolutely.
When I was reaching out, I was reaching out to a bunch of different groups because It wasn't like, hey, this house is fucking crazy. Come see it. It's hey,
not a publicity stunt, basically.
This house
There wasn't a ticket booth out front.
no.
You
Yeah, I
have to pay to get
remember
in.
you were telling me that like a lot of people thought you were joking, and
Yeah.
it's sad because I just received an email that night we got back from. I don't remember where we were coming home from. I got that. Oh, it was the game dinner we went to.
Yep.
From the guy out by Boston, and same thing, similar stories, and he says I've reached out to everyone, and they all think I'm joking.
Yep.
I'm like, how can you do this as a professional, like as a lifestyle?
Yeah.
Like you claim to want to help people, but when they ask for help, you say no.
Well,
Like,
that's kind of like even the church, like they kind of take it as a joke now, but yet they used to do blessings all the time back in the day, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, new
kind
houses.
Of that kind of stuff doesn't stop. Like, yeah, sure, maybe like more people don't believe now, so it's not as common.
I
so
think
they're not
media's
getting
got a
as,
big part. In,
so they're not getting as much like attention or like people calling them, but like
Well, you know what it makes
you still got to do that stuff.
it really makes you think. I mean, if they're not doing the blessing, which side is winning?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, it's
it's like it doesn't matter what year it is. That's still like that stuff is still going on. Like that was me by the
Okay.
table. I hit my hand.
I was looking at him because I thought it came from his direction.
But-
The thing too is that when to hear someone's story, and not to at least try to look into it or meet with the client and say, hey, okay, what's going on, and you can kind of get an idea. But to say, oh, we don't believe you, and we're sorry.
Yep.
yeah, it's like the guy from out by Boston. I think someone's phone.
That is not me.
My phone again.
Yeah.
Time to shut your phone off.
Yep. So yeah, like that guy out by Boston. At first, he kind of wanted an investigation, but it was a very dire situation. He has 2 little children at home that started getting attacked, scratches and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I offered to overnight him a package with sage and the amethyst, and he tried that for a day or two. He's like, honestly, that's helped enough where I don't think we need the investigation. So like, if you kind of just talk to your clients, like
Yep.
look out, see what they need. Maybe it's not even as crazy as like going to their house for a night and setting up your gear. Like,
Well, I mean, that other group that was in here, I mean, they found quite a bit of stuff, but in the end, I mean, it wasn't like they weren't here to help me with the situation.
yeah,
They were here
To get footage, basically.
to get footage
Yeah.
and to keep getting footage
Yeah.
and to keep agitating it.
yeah,
And from the client meeting, we had that one. We're using the portal on your phone.
yeah. It's, yeah,
And
it
it
said,
came back. We hate John.
Yep.
You know. Do you just hear that whisper?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Is there anyone here?
That vibration was the heat upstairs.
Dude, I keep hearing a voice.
Wait till
I
we
did
play this
too.
back and we listen to it, and we're gonna hear all these things.
They're welcome to speak. If you'd like to speak, we do have microphones here. You're
Yeah, Tim doesn't ever use his. It's always
Yeah,
like
no, mine-
pointed in another direction.
sorry, I talk with my hands. It's a bad thing.
We've talked
Like the Italians.
about the next thing you're getting. I have a baseball batting helmet.
Oh yes.
We're gonna put the microphone in the grill, so
Yep.
it's permanently in front of your face.
And I can rock back and forth. Go,
Yeah.
okay, guys,
Do whatever
what
you want.
next?"
Yep. But yeah, like I don't want these groups out there to do this to showboat or try to like get big and famous and stuff. Like it boils down to we're here to help people.
It's almost kind of one thing. If you got an intelligent haunting that you don't mind, that's not nasty,
Yeah.
and something that you don't mind communicating with, so be it. You get something like this that
Yeah.
drives you crazy.
It affects
I
your,
mean,
your
it affects
physical,
your life.
personal life. Yeah.
You know, it's like you said, they're probably very few and far between. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
they're not. But you know, it's fucked up. It really is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, there's no doubt too that there's more of these situations at home that a lot of people, unfortunately, now are afraid to tell anybody because you're crazy.
Or
There's
they're
a
afraid to
problem.
even admit that it's going on.
Yeah, and they just live with it.
Yep.
And I mean, we're out there to try to help everybody. We have these avenues now that we can use to say, hey, by the
Well,
way,
with
we
your
have this.
case, how long was it where you said, okay, there's something here? Was it like
from day one.
day one? Okay.
Yeah, day one. I mean, when I heard the footsteps up and down the stairs, my first night here, and I'm going through the house and there's nobody here. It's like, well, this happens.
Yeah. And they're definite footsteps too.
Yeah.
It's not like the floor creaks like a house settling. Like
Yeah.
No,
usually
you'll
are.
hear
Like,
boot
It sounds like
steps.
boots. Yeah.
And it's not 1 or 2 steps. It's
And it is an intruder, but something that's paranormal that unfortunately you can't see.
Yep.
And that was the scary thing is like you thought someone literally was in your house.
Yep.
You grabbed your gun. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Can I just touch on something real quick? By the way, just Brian is one of my favorite clients because the first meeting we had, you welcome us into your house and show us the living room. You show us your guitar, and what was on the couch next to the guitar? A crossbow.
Oh yeah.
Crossbow, yeah.
I've come up a few times to see new guns that you bought, like your new AK-47. You are a man's man. Like, you're no bullshit. What you see is what you get.
Right.
You are a down to earth dude, and that's what we love about you.
You know what the cool thing too was the picture.
Yes, I love the the only picture in the house. I think too.
Yeah, it's him, and it's like
You
some
turn your
sort
head.
of
That was Haunted Mansion, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Disney
great.
World's Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
My wonderful girlfriend got me that. Figured it would be a nice addition to the house.
absolutely perfect addition.
Figured, hopefully whatever's on the other side has a sense of humor. And I'm sure some of them do, but
Yeah.
there's definitely. I mean, there's something here tonight that's quite unsavory.
Yeah, we've had 2 out of 4 of us scratched already, so that, and I have pictures to prove it. We have pictures to prove it. So
We'll post those maybe
yeah,
later.
it's definitely not we're not joking here. This stuff really happens. But the thing is we have to take it seriously, and those paranormal groups that are out there that are listening to us, no bullshit. If people have this situation going, get them the help they need.
Yeah, we joke around and laugh all the time. We're a bunch of
Well, you need
fun dudes,
I mean, you need a good sense of humor to actually really deal with something like this, or it's going to drive you crazy.
Oh yeah, we
It's-
had a great time in that room upstairs, lightened up
laughter
the
and
room,
humor,
and we laughed.
battles.
I believe the
Darkness.
mediums were upstairs for that too. One of them was
Yeah.
up there, and she was dying.
Hysterics, yeah, and I think that's what we need sometimes. Is sometimes you have to laugh at things to lighten up what's going on.
Yep, It's
For
gonna
your
be-
sanity, I think is
Yeah.
the most important.
absolutely.
So let's
Yeah.
see. More questions for you. I don't
No,
know.
I am not single.
Darn. Okay, podcast done. So you plan on staying in this house? Like, you're not afraid, obviously, right?
I'm not afraid to be in this house.
Okay.
No, I mean there are times that I don't want to be in it,
Yeah.
and I'm not going anywhere because it's my fucking house.
Yeah.
But it's I come here, I work on stuff. I mean,
I like how you always call me up or text me, and you're like, "Yo, the house is in a mood today."
yeah.
It's always a conversation. The
Yeah.
house is in a mood.
It seems like it's on some sort of thing. I walk out and it only takes 2 days. It's just 2 days, like a 30 day
Yeah.
thing trial.
Couple days out of the
It's
month,
2 days out of the
it's
month. You're
kinda
like,
pissed.
damn, it's being a bitch again.
It's like having another girlfriend.
All right.
It won't use the tampons that are upstairs.
Damn it. Keeps throwing them at me.
The
I don't
walls
know
keep
why.
bleeding and everything.
The blood's supposed to get off at the second floor.
One of the things too is what do you plan? What as far as future? You want us to come back and do another investigation, or spend a night, or do something? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know what this house did to us.
Yep.
But I know you're not here much. Maybe we could plan on staying the night.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting actually to do like a sleepover.
I would.
Ooh, like a
be,
slumber party.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
I would be up for that if that would be okay.
Fresh.
Are there demons in the fridge?
Yeah, I think there's 4 left.
Oh, well, here we go. Let's get this party started.
I got nothing to do tonight.
Oh, I got 3 things to do tonight.
Fresh.
So I mean, that's one of the things that we didn't do is we didn't stay past 1 o'clock.
That's
or
the
2
weird
o'clock.
thing about this house. We can stay till midnight. Usually we stay at about 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Here we stayed at I think one time we left at 10 or 11.
We were exhausted.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
we
we're
left.
pooped and we got so much evidence. This house.
It's you could come here at 6 in the morning and stay till 6 at night, and you'll get the same
Yeah.
stuff that you'll get.
Wednesday afternoon and fucking refrigerators floating through the room or something.
Yeah. Oh, we've heard furniture moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're dragging across the floor. Then we come back up, nothing's moved.
Nothing's out of space.
It's incredibly fucked. Yeah, I heard something too.
I'd like to bring a crucifix here next time too.
Oh, like the one that was hanging from the ceiling in the living room when I
tell
first
that story.
moved
I
in.
forgot about that.
I just moved into the house. In the living room, I have a ceiling fan that I installed. There was a ceiling fan box. The electrical was capped off. There used to be a light there that was broken. But hanging on the capped off wiring, there was, I don't remember if it was a rosary or a crucifix on a chain. And, at the time, my wife and I were looking at it. I'm like, well, that's a little different. I'd never really think of it. I don't know. I'm just naive on that side. But, I've seen a lot of oddball shit working in old buildings, old factories, old houses with my choice of career and the trade I'm in. And you end up seeing stuff like that, but I don't know. For me, I never think of it. I mean, other people I brought it to, well, what the hell were you thinking? Well, fuck. Yeah, sorry I don't have your brain.
Yeah, right.
Next time your boiler
Wasn't like they
explodes,
were-
call somebody else. But
Yeah, it wasn't like there was one in every room.
yeah, no, exactly. And and the gentleman I bought the house from, he came over for a couple of beers. He took it down, took it with him, and that was it.
Yeah.
Then that weekend, I hung the ceiling fan.
Now, talking about your profession, you do,
Commercial industrial HVAC technician.
and you actually serviced one of our previous locations, Cyprian Keys Golf Club.
Oh yes, yep, absolutely.
You ever experienced anything when you were there servicing?
Whenever I was there, it was always during the daytime, and they were very busy.
Yeah.
So it's if I did see or hear something, there was too much going on to really filter it out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd either be working on the refrigeration end or up on the roof working on the AC, and it's just at that time there's too much noise going on for you to really see it. I've worked in other abandoned buildings that you see stuff.
So you must see
And
some
it's-
crazy places then doing
Yep.
this.
Absolutely. One was this one building in Worcester. If you know what David Clark is, it's actually the other half of that building. It used to be Come Play Products. Did you hear that?
That whisper?
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard that, right?
I didn't hear that.
I don't
either.
think so.
I heard that.
But it's weird because like sometimes it singles out people for noise, sounds and like voices and
Oh, like that picture I showed you guys, the head right above me when the other crew was working with me. I kept on hearing this humming, and the other crew, they had their K2 meter. They're not getting anything. They're not hearing nothing. And look over at my girlfriend. I'm like, do you hear this humming? I mean, it's loud. I can hear this. This is in this room, and nobody could hear it. Just real melodic humming. I mean, nothing I've ever heard before. And everybody's looking at me like I'm nuts. And look at the guy, John. Look, can I see a K2 meter? I grab it and I turn around over my right shoulder. Immediately pegs the fucking meter, and cameraman, when it review of the footage, snapped a screenshot, and sure as shit, there was the same face that I've seen plenty of times
That
was
directly
awesome.
above me.
the horned figure.
I remember the first picture I saw that was in front of the beam.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Big green
I remember
head.
looking at him like, that's just the wood grain of the beam. Because I have to
We had
debunk
talked
the
about
part where
it.
I was like,
We
I
talked
have
about
to.
it. Said we have to look at that.
They were
place
like,
when we
that's
go back.
totally the wood grain of the beam. And we went down to that beam, and that beam has no wood grain markings whatsoever. And we look at the picture, we're like, that is legit a horned face.
And then I had two pictures prior to that showing the movement of it.
Yeah.
And
And that's
Yeah,
the one that
it's-
you caught under
Yeah.
the stairs, or someone caught
Under the stairs, yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not in a place where you could actually like look at the background or a bunch of things that are together and kind of, okay, maybe I see a horned figure. No, it is and it isn't. When you look at that picture and then you go back and take a picture of the same darkness, or if it was the lights were off, there's nothing to make it.
no, not at all. Yeah.
And, just to coincide with that, during the walkthrough, that laughter we got,
Right after
Ryan asked, "Is the horned figure
never,
here?"
I will never
You get the,
forget that. We heard
It sounded
that.
like Bowser from Mario 64, like
Yeah.
almost identical. Like a,
Yeah. And it was crazy because
And we all heard it. I'm like, well, that was odd.
yeah, we looked at
Yeah.
each other. We're like, really? Like this house is going to do this?
yeah.
It's not shy.
Nope, not at all. I mean, it's whatever's here's been here for a while, and it is.
And it's
it's
ready
fucked
to
up.
go.
It's leaving soon, just so
Yep,
it knows.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we started the whole cleansing of it. That was one of the first thing we did. That was kind of a crazy experience, walking through with sage and stuff. We could feel like it was almost like we were
It
in a
would run
bubble.
away. Yeah.
We were in a bubble. That's the only way I could look at it. And everything was outside was like boom, 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 hitting outside the bubble. And I'm going, wow. And then we left, and didn't you call the next day? Or you talk, boy, it's weird here in this place.
Yeah.
Since you guys did that cleansing, things are a little different. But
Oh, it was very eerily quiet, and everything was watching. Everything was watching. And since then, I mean, every now and then, I mean, not lately, but I have been burning that sage. Not since the priest's been here, but before that, Jesus.
Look at that, more scratches on his belly.
Jesus.
You got anything? No.
I don't feel nothing. I'm good to go.
Nothing here, but it's you two.
Fresh.
Yeah, right.
Like it kinky.
Nice and easy, apparently.
Yeah.
I have to go see a spermatologist.
It don't matter, just don't bite it. But yeah, what an experience. I mean, the thing is like people, you talk to people about, yeah, we're going back to the demon house. You're crazy. You're fucking crazy. Well, not really, because, we're here to try to help and to come back and talk to you and keep in contact with you. That's what we try to do.
Progression.
So-
It's
This just popped in my head. I don't mean to interrupt, but before I forget to mention this. So October is usually a very busy month for us. Halloween's around the corner.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Just there's ghosts out the wazoo.
Yep.
So we this past October we did a podcast for another company. We did we were on Laser 99.3.
Yep.
We did all this stuff.
Investigated at their
The first
station.
thing everyone asks is like, "What's your craziest experience?" And every time we always talk,
we jump out of the
we go, "Well, we go to this place called the Demon House."
The
And everyone's
Demon House?
What? The Demon House?
Demon House, yeah, that was exactly what
your
she
house is the house we talk about
Yeah.
when people.
She
want to know about our
asked, and it was funny because she asked about what our crazy experiences, and I'm like, ready. I'm like, she's like, oh, look at Tim. He's like, ready. All right.
Yep.
Well, wait,
I think we
come
talked
back.
about you a bit. The interview is online. You can
did.
check it out.
How strapping I am.
Yeah.
My heavy thirst for alcohol.
And the thing that came up was upstairs setting up, getting almost pushed off the balcony. But it was like, it wasn't like it wanted to push me out the balcony. It was almost like you get a push and it said, I could do this.
it was a
No.
joke.
You don't see the other camera angle is me going,
Exactly.
Yeah, we blocked Ben
"Hey
out.
Tim,
Ben, you bastard. But yeah, what an experience. I mean, daytime. It was daytime.
Yeah, this is the craziest place I've been. I worked for a theater group, and our workshop was a building in a mental asylum.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I've been around crazy shit, but this house right here.
Yeah, tops it.
Years and years ago, I used to do some service work at the old Worcester State Hospital, and that was
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I would,
that
Kill
place
someone
alone
there.
was just. I mean, you have dreams about the place after you leave there.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, I still have dreams about the old clock tower. Right? It's
oh, the energy alone in those
it's
places.
just
is-
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's imprinted.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like that imprint follows you.
You still hear the screams at night from the nut jobs that are in there.
Yep.
Yeah, Munson State. I know the security guy that's up there, and he says when he first started there, he heard screams in a building, and he was running to the building to go in, and it's all boarded up.
Yeah.
There's no way he can get in, and he's like, "What the hell? This doesn't make any sense to me." He walked all around the building. He could hear screams inside the building, and there was no way. And then at that time, he's like, "I know no one got in there. I'm just going to get back in my car, turn the radio up a little bit, and get through my shift."
Yep.
Yeah, and
Well, it makes perfect sense. He just doesn't want to admit it.
right.
Like, it's pretty obvious what it is.
Yep.
That's I think a lot of people, they're not necessarily afraid to admit they believe in ghosts, but they're afraid to believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
Because that changes their perspective on life. Like the non-believers have a very linear sense, like we live, we die, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You add ghosts in that mix, it's like, oh well, when we die, something else happens. So
Yep.
Well, technically, one of three things happen: you go to hell, you go to heaven, or you stay here.
no,
Purgatory.
that's the Catholic sense.
It's the Catholic sense, it's the Christian sense, it's the Jewish sense. Technically, it's the Protestant. It's a lot of
religions, but not
lot of
all
religious. Not all of them.
Not Buddhist,
Not all of
not
them.
Hindu, not pagan.
I'm sure Buddhists have like a
Catholic's the only religion that I believe has
Exorcism.
penance.
yeah.
You know,
Plus the Catholic Church. Like you start talking about the Catholic Church, you go to Rome, or the Roman Church, Roman Catholic Church, and they're the ones that exorcisms come from.
yes,
They teach classes for this stuff.
they're the only ones that have ever had the effective exorcisms.
So when the father from Worcester was here doing his thing, did he pick up on anything?
If he did, I didn't say one word. He was very stone-faced.
Yeah.
He was concerned for me. You know, I mean, always looking back at me and goes, "How do you feel? How do you feel?" So I feel like I got to sit down. I feel nauseous.
When I spoke to him on the phone, it was a very
He's a bit.
in-depth interview. Like he asked a lot of questions. I think he was feeling out like,
Is this BS
Yeah.
or is this something that
and
really
like,
needs to be
I
dealt with?
explained like your personality, like who you are as a guy, and like when I told him you're like a legit like just regular guy, he kind of got worried a little bit. Then he started asking questions that veered off towards more like, does this happen? Has he ever seen this? Has he ever experienced this? And then probably when he came here and saw like, you're not like a frantic old lady that watches horror movies every night.
Right.
Like,
I don't even watch horror movies.
yeah, you're like just a guy that turns trucks into hot rods and then goes to work. Like,
yeah.
Well, I heard a story that one of the first things that they do when they do a client investigation, as far as the church dealing with someone, that the first thing they look at is like the video archives, like if there's something that's out, the books that are there, because if it's someone has all of the horror movies.
He brought up my picture in the other room. He goes, "Well, what's that?" So that was actually a gift from Disney World from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And it's
So yeah, he didn't delve on that.
so
but-
if anyone went to my house, I'd be fucked.
yeah,
it's
like-
I just it's
the blue bus would come and get you.
Yeah.
And straight jacket. And
so it's I just kind of figured that. Well, actually, it was a gift. It was something I kind of liked. Thought it it's kind of interesting. I don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking picture.
Yeah, right.
You
It's a
in the
picture.
end, it's
Yeah.
that's all it is. It changes shape when you look.
it's a
at
cool
it.
picture.
It's
actually.
it came from fucking Disney World.
And it's funny because I went
Yeah.
there and when the hell did you get married? October?
Yeah, October.
October.
Yeah, so October. I was down in Disney.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, Anthony is now hitched.
Yeah.
I went through the Haunted Mansion and I was looking to get those done, and I didn't see them anywhere.
You have to ask for them. They have them on. They have them on the wall. It's not actually. It's in the Haunted Mansion gift shop.
Ah, son of a bitch.
When you walk through, they'll have a few samples there,
Yeah.
and it takes them about 10 minutes to make, and they snap your picture.
pretty cool.
And then,
Yeah.
That is cool.
Going again in
Yeah.
November, so maybe I'll get one of those.
yeah.
It's a part of the bucket list.
Yeah.
So, what is your next step as far as what's going on in your house?
I plan on contacting the priest again, see when we can meet up. It was unfortunate that we couldn't at the time.
Well, you're a busy guy.
Yep.
We have a hard time trying to get nail you down a little
Yep,
bit and try to
yep.
figure stuff out. But
And I mean, it would have been perfect if we could have met up that day. But he's concerned and he wants to help, which is spectacular.
Good.
And I couldn't ask for a better person here. Thanks to you guys.
well, we meant it. What we said. We were
Yeah.
here to help you.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the thing that with our group, I don't know any other group that is on the same wavelength as far as wanting to help. A lot of the other groups, some of the other groups that I've seen, it's like, oh, let's go get scared and that's it. And they
No,
do decline.
it's not about that, because that's something that whatever is there that's negative is going to feed off of. It only makes it stronger, at least in my eyes. When I was talking to the priest, he goes, how did you end up with this group, and how come there's filming? So the filming's basically for documentation purposes. It might be a bit of a show for people to watch.
Right.
But it's all truth. There's no theatrics. There's no BS.
Yeah, we don't fake anything.
No, it's all there. It's documented, and they're there. I mean, honestly, I never would have met you if it wasn't for the group.
Yeah.
And you're not here as part of a show. You're here to help me, because
Yeah.
I'm begging for help in this
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
place. It's kind of heard something right behind you too.
Tim's getting a ghost massage. A little demon rub. Tell him to go lower, up in the front.
I don't know. Poking in the back with his dick.
Areola, 50ola.
So end goal is to get the father in here and
Just keep the blessings coming to.
clear this house of
Exactly.
all. Even I'd say get rid of the good ones too that are here because they need to
yeah.
pass on.
Yeah, everything. In the end, everything needs to go.
Yeah, this is your house.
Nothing should be here.
Yeah.
In the whole grand scheme of religion and spirituality, nothing should be here.
Right. Right. It should be your
nothing-
home. You're happy. You can sleep well. You don't have to hear. A house makes a normal house makes creaks and normal noises and stuff. But
Yeah.
when you start dealing with voices and you start dealing with footsteps and no one's in the house.
Oh, it's like, originally we were talking, a normal house, you hear your creaks and cracks. Well, yeah, come on by and listen to them.
Yeah, right. They're not normal
Enjoy.
creaks and cracks.
It's like in Poltergeist when they go to the paranormal investigators go to the house. And he's like, we one time watched a chair slide across a kitchen floor. It went 3 feet in 18 hours.
Watch
and
this.
Coach is like, oh, that's cute. Check this out. He opens the door and shit's just spinning around. That's like your house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got an EVP? That's cute. Check this out.
Yeah, we'll get them that tell you'll get them that tell you to go fuck off. You know.
Yep.
Yep. It's
He's like, my demon just sent me an email saying I'm an asshole. What do you think of that? All right, so I think that pretty much wraps up this.
We're definitely over an hour, right?
Yeah, we're at an hour and 15. Brian, we want to thank you for having us in your home, the Demon House, our first podcast outside of the dungeon. It's always a treat to be here. We heard lots of shit tonight.
Had physical things happen with
physical
scratches.
stuff. So yeah, it never disappoints. Thank you for everything. Honestly, you've been great.
thank you guys for the help and the assistance. It's been great. It's even better you guys are local.
Yeah.
It's,
Nice and close. 15 minutes I made it today.
Yeah.
So,
hey, 25-minute trip back and forth to grab a cable.
yep. So,
Not bad.
Yeah.
All an ass.
so with all that said, we want to thank all the listeners at home. As always, I'm Ben.
I'm Tim.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Brian. Rest in peace.